Hi, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Real or Real podcast. My name is Bone Dragon, and joining me,
Arr, I be pixie dusted.
do you know?
I don't know why I'm a pirate, but okay.
You are a pirate now.
I am, yes. Well, I
Yes.
do have scurvy.
No, you don't.
Pretty sure I do.
You do not have scurvy, and the dog does not have rabies.
No. No, the dog had something else, but I have scurvy.
You do
Yeah,
not have
definitely.
scurvy.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yay, today Pixie has a story for us. And
Yes.
sounds like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So,
Well, I hope so.
yeah. But before that, just keep in mind that we are looking for guests. So if you have an awesome story that you think that you could stump us with, then send us an email to crojan.designs@gmail.com and we'll get back to you and you can be on the show with us.
Yeah, guests, victims, hostages, whatever.
You're not
No?
supposed to say that part out loud.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the story.
Let me tell you a story.
All right, here we go. The content warnings for this one: missing person, accidental drug use, forced drug use, and murder.
How do you have accidental drug use?
Well, you keep listening and you'll find out.
I guess so. Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
All
This
right.
one is not quite as heavy as some of the other ones we've covered. So it should be kind of fun.
Okay.
And it's more about conspiracy.
Conspiracies.
Yes.
Wait. I gotta go get the tinfoil. I'll be right
No,
back.
not that kind of conspiracy.
Oh.
Like people conspiring to do things.
So aliens aren't gonna zap my brain?
No, not again.
Okay. Is the government gonna be coming after me again?
Possibly.
But it's unrelated, right?
Maybe.
All right.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
And then keep in mind, and you'll understand this when we get to the end, that this is a story about Bob.
Bob. Hello, Bob.
Yes. Kinda. Okay, let's just get into it. So, Abigail Tierney, an aspiring horror filmmaker, was reported missing in early September of 2024.
2024. Abigail likes making horror movies
Yes.
and came up missing.
Yes.
All right.
So, upon searching her laptop in an attempt to locate her, police found multiple angry messages from various producers regarding an unfinished project she had been filming for them. Everyone involved in the production was questioned, producing no leads, until they stumbled upon the information about her visiting a serial killer who was currently incarcerated.
Silence of the Lambs. Listen for
Yeah.
the silence of the lambs, Clarice.
Yeah. Yes.
At least that's what I get from it so far. So.
Yeah. We're heading in that direction.
Okay.
Okay. So her colleagues assumed that the visits were for research concerning the current project. However, in reality, the visits were concerning a different idea that she had for a documentary project, a documentary expose on a local partially abandoned psychiatric hospital. So, this is why the police had found the multiple messages from various producers because she had given up on the film project that she was making and decided she wanted to switch gears and do a documentary. So, she just walked away from that project and was ignoring all of the. She had one main producer that she was supposed to have been working with, and he was thinking about dropping her anyway, and she kind of got those vibes from him. So she decided to hook up with a few other producers for the project. So she pretty much just ghosted all of them to switch gears and start working on this true crime documentary.
Boy, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah. So we've got plenty of suspects in her disappearance because we have a lot of people that would have reason to be upset with her.
Okay, okay. Now I kind of understand that because like the way my brain works is I'll start working on a project and then suddenly out of nowhere I get an idea for another project. I'll abandon the first project to start the second one, and the next thing you know, I'm quitting the second one to go to a third one. You know?
Yeah, that seems like what was going on here in this situation.
Huh.
So to make this documentary, she was visiting with this serial killer, and the reason was because he still wasn't admitting to it because he was trying to like maintain his innocence, even though he had already been convicted and he was in jail. But I guess for like maybe parole purposes or maybe reopening the case or whatever, he's still saying that like it wasn't him.
Yeah, but you know you know what they say about, prison. There's like 500 innocent men in prison.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so she was visiting with this serial killer, and to find out things about this abandoned hospital, which was where he had tortured and unalived his victims. He used this hospital to do that
Okay.
because it was an abandoned build. Part of the property was abandoned. So keep that in mind too, that like not the entire hospital is abandoned. It's just a portion of it. The older section has been abandoned, and the rest of it is still a working psychiatric hospital.
So is she trying to do like what, like a ghost hunt documentary, or is she just doing a documentary about this guy?
Well, no, she wants to do a documentary about the actual property itself.
Oh, okay.
And, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, what she found out from him was that he gained access to the abandoned areas because he worked for a vending machine company
Oh.
that stocked the vending machines in the working part of the hospital, so he could kind of slip unnoticed into the abandoned areas. And it didn't raise any red flags that he was there on property because he was restocking the vending machines.
How come you never see vending machines in psychiatric hospitals and movies? I mean, you always assume that they're going to be there. I guess they're like bathrooms or something, you know?
I don't know.
I would
I've
assume
never
so.
noticed.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're looking at like In the Mouth of Madness or any of those other movies, it never shows any vending machines, and I can't help but think to myself that in the patient areas, I understand, but like,
Yeah, waiting
what
rooms,
if you're a
lounges.
security guard or something?
Right.
You're just like, man, I could go for some Cheetos right now.
Yeah, I don't know, because like any psychiatric hospital that I've been in personally myself, they do have vending machines in the lounges and in the waiting room areas and in the public areas like that.
So you were in a psychiatric hospital.
Not as a patient.
Oh. Well, one can hope.
Really? You really hope that?
Well, I mean, no. Come on. It'd be a whole lot more fun.
so, so anyway, back to the tale.
All right.
So Abigail became obsessed with the idea of making a true crime documentary about the serial killer that she'd been having visits with and the environment that he chose to carry out these acts, which was the Westview Psychiatric Hospital. And she decided her angle for this documentary would not just be like a straight true crime documentary, but would be that perhaps there was an underlying paranormal cause on the property that increased the desire to commit violent acts there.
Oh, it's one of those documentaries. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, you were kind of correct earlier in that she's trying to say that there's a demon or that evil has been attracted to this property because of things that happened there, at the psychiatric hospital years and years and years and years ago. Because, of course, it also has the rumors about it of, like the experiments on patients and things like that would have gone on in, like, the 19th century.
Right.
In a hospital like this.
I make this promise to you right now, and you better be making it right back. I like doing this show, but there is absolutely no reason for me to get so hardcore into my research to go talk to a serial killer in jail.
So, okay, noted. Do not let you go talk to a serial killer who is currently incarcerated. To research something.
I don't think that there's any nearby us. Now that I think about it. I mean, there might be somewhere, but like I don't think I care enough to look. And I guess it really doesn't matter anymore.
So speaking of research.
All right.
To be able to film this, I guess you could loosely call it a documentary, because I feel like what she's planning on trying to make would be kind of a documentary, but more of like an entertainment type documentary.
I can't
with a lot of
feel
speculation.
I think that they're called speculative documentaries. I'm not sure. Or investigative or something like that. I don't know. But yeah.
So she knew that she was going to need to research the hospital's history. And she also wanted to gain access to the abandoned ward herself.
As one
where
would.
These things were committed. Because, like, she's going to need B-roll and such.
She also needs permission.
Well,
about
her plan, her plan to be able to gain access to these areas that were abandoned and shut down and not open to the public was that she decided to befriend the security guard that was covering that area of the hospital. He very quickly became smitten with her and agreed to lead her on a tour of the abandoned areas.
Befriend in air quotations.
Right. She flirted with him, and he just became absolutely obsessed with her and thought they were going to be together.
I plan on, giving you some favors back if you just give me this one favor, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so
I'll make you cookies.
Yeah, so he was absolutely willing to take her in, and let her like roam around with her phone filming areas of this abandoned part of the hospital.
For cookies? Hell yeah.
That depends on what kind of cookies they are.
I'm talking like chocolate chip. I ain't talking no raisin oatmeal cookies or nothing.
You're talking crumble cookies, not Gideon's?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Not sprinkles?
No, not sprinkles. No. Not that stupid vending machine that they got at
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Not that thing. No. I want the good stuff.
Well, that's more for cupcakes anyway, though.
Well, right.
So, as he walked her around, and she's in investigating, I guess you could say, things and getting her B-roll footage and checking stuff out. He told her tales of what he had heard about illegal experiments that took place there decades and decades ago, and ghost stories about long deceased patients still roaming the halls. And of course, she ate all this up,
Of course.
and she ended up wandering off on her own. And she was allegedly following a suspicious sound that she heard, and she disappeared. So this security guard was the last person to see her before she disappeared.
Wait, they were the only two people there together.
Yes.
And she just wandered off in an area that he knew that she should not be.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, I'm guessing that like she was like, "Oh, I hear a sound. Do you hear that? Do you hear that sound?" and just wandered off.
Like, just ran off after it.
Right. And when he went to go look for her, she was nowhere to be found. She had completely disappeared.
Huh. Okay.
And of course, he didn't come forward and tell the police this
'Cause he'd get in
until the
trouble.
police went to question him about, "Hey, we found out that she was doing, visiting this serial killer, doing research on this hospital. Did she show up here?" And of course, at first he denied that she even showed up there.
Right.
And then it escalated to, well, like, yeah, she's here and this is what happens, and I didn't want to get in trouble because I was the last person that saw her before she was reported missing.
That instantly throws doubt on a guy's story. I'm
Right,
sorry,
exactly.
but it does. Yeah.
So for timeline's sake, when the police went and questioned him and he finally admitted, yeah, she was here and she just disappeared, I don't know what happened. She had been missing for 11 days.
Okay.
So she's already the police have been actively looking for her for 11 days. So, it's getting to that point where they're going to have to give up hope,
Right.
Like what's going on? So a couple days later, on the evening of the 24th of September of last year, a 911 operator received a call from a woman in distress, asking frantically for help and saying that she was trapped. The call suddenly ended before the operator could get any information from the woman in distress. And shortly after that call, another call was received by 911, and they called to report odd sounds and lights coming from the abandoned area of that hospital.
Okay.
So
So, I'm thinking that there's two, maybe three, situations that this could be. First of all, somebody's in there and they got caught. Well, not caught, but like they got, stuck in there and they're trying to find a way out. Two, there's ghosts. And three, it's the worst game of hide and seek ever.
Well, my first thought when I read that part was that perhaps she was like, she's being held hostage or something, and there's multiple people holding her hostage.
Are they
Is what
counting?
I thought.
Like, is someone, in the background saying 1, 2, 3?
I don't think they're playing hide and seek.
Are you sure?
No, but I don't think that's what's going on.
Okay. I mean, you never know. It's a psych ward. They could be
So-
having fun.
So the police were alerted that, there were some lights and weird sounds going on here. So they, at this point, they were getting ready to go investigate the hospital anyway to see if they could find her, any trace of her, where she may have, if she was abducted while she was there, what was going on,
Right.
back to like what they would call the scene of the crime, perhaps, because that was the last place she was seen.
Yeah, looking for clues, anything that they
Right.
might have missed.
So they were already going to go back there anyway. So like now that they've been tipped off by 911 that there are lights and sounds coming from that abandoned wing of the hospital where there shouldn't be anybody there at all, they decide to go ahead and investigate now instead of waiting until like, tomorrow or the next during the day. So it's
Right.
that evening. So they they go there to investigate, and as they are walking around, they do hear strange noises and disembodied voices calling for help. They also found a strange viscous fluid dripping from the walls in one of the rooms.
Sorry.
And they started a couple of they sent like a party of 4 officers from what I understand to go investigate, which seems odd to me anyway for just like a disturbance call. But
Well, sure, but if it's like a bigger building like that, then they're going to
right, that
need,
that is true. That is
backup.
true. I didn't even think about that. I don't know how large the abandoned area is.
Large.
So as they're looking for the source of sounds and lights and possibly hoping to find Abigail in the process or what happened to her, a couple of the officers start getting spooked.
Okay.
Feeling that okay, maybe the stories about this place being haunted are true.
Right.
Maybe there are definitely things happening that we can't explain.
Because that's what you want in a cop.
Well, I mean, it's human nature to be, upset or not upset, but like freaked out a little about things that you don't understand, what's going on.
Yeah, but when I'm wanting Barney Fife and I get Mr. Chicken, that's an issue
Well,
for
I
me.
don't think I would be too comfortable with it being Barney Fife either.
Well, I wouldn't either, but still.
So, creepy atmosphere, things are happening that they can't explain. And upon wandering down one hallway, a couple of the officers discovered a door that had been very hastily covered over with drywall. Not a new project, but newer than the rest of the hospital that had already been abandoned. And you could still see, like, it was really shoddy work. You couldn't see that there was a door behind it, but you could tell that, like, this part of the wall had been patched, and it had been recently patched. So one of the officers was like, that's odd.
So they went inside and they found a giant penny and a T-Rex statue and a really nice computer.
Are
Sorry,
you done?
I'm making
Are
a
you finished?
Batcave joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
finished?
sorry.
No, it's okay.
That was terrible.
So they did start tearing away the drywall, which wouldn't that be like, destruction of property? But anyway, they started tearing away the drywall to see what was going on behind this patch of drywall.
Okay.
Because this was also like near the room that had, weird fluid dripping. And I'm assuming, they were already freaked out anyway. They're like, let's figure out what this is.
I'm wondering if
I don't
that
know.
fluid
I don't know
was-
exactly why they decided to start pulling the drywall away. Just that it says that that's what happened.
Okay. I'm wondering if that fluid was white and tasted like peanut butter.
It did not give a description of anything other than strange and viscous.
That's what I'm imagining.
All right. Well, so once they get this drywall patch pulled down, they find out that it was blocking a door.
No.
So, yeah. So, of course, they open the door to go in the room to see, why this room has been walled up and why it's been walled up recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that does just seem suspicious.
Well, you got this old ass building that you're walking around in. All of a sudden, hey, that looks like some really new drywall.
Right. Very recent work there. Yeah.
Huh.
Right. So they go into this room, and what they find is it's like a medium-sized room. Looks like maybe sort of like an administration office. with a table over in the corner that was covered in like dusty beakers and like pipettes, chemistry equipment.
Yeah.
And they also find Abigail.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes, Abigail in this room.
Is she just hanging out on the table like, hey, what's going on?
No, she was dehydrated and delirious, as one would be after
Right.
11 days,
I would
12 days,
assume.
13 days missing. And she told them, when questioned, that she had kept herself alive by rationing the trail mix she had in her backpack. And because Bob had given her a large jug of water to ration for the week, as well as keeping her company while she was trapped in there and sharing his power bars with her.
Bob.
Bob.
So I'm picturing our little robot vacuum thing just coming into the room and, he's got like a bottle of water sitting on top of him.
Well, that's yeah. We've named our little robot vacuum Bob, but that's not who Bob was in this case. What it actually was, she was really thankful that she had Bob to keep her company and that he gave her the water and the power bars. So she wanted to introduce him to her rescuers, and that's what she said. Now, keep in mind, they're all still just standing in this room. And the officers are just like looking around like, okay, well, maybe she's just a little out of it from dehydration or lack of food or whatever. And she's like, no, Bob is here. So, of course, now they're on the alert. They're like, wait, okay, there's another person here. Maybe they're thinking, maybe you were abducted. Maybe you've been held hostage,
Right.
Who is this? Or maybe there's someone else who's a victim. Who is this Bob?
Bob is my friend. He's standing right next to you. Don't sit there. That's Bob's seat.
Well, it turns out that Bob had been dead for about 6 months and was trapped there in the room with her, and he was a corpse in the corner.
Okay.
Right. But in her delirium, whether it be from dehydration or lack of food or just a solitary confinement for almost 2 weeks, to her, Bob was alive and completely real.
Okay.
So, the police transported her to the hospital, where it was found out that she had large amounts of hallucinogenic drugs in her system.
Oh, yeah.
They also discovered in the coming days that Bob's cause of death had been 6 gunshot wounds to the chest.
Okay.
And now they had to figure out, how did Abigail go missing? How she got in that room? Who shot Bob? Who was Bob? And why did Abigail have such large amounts of drugs in her system?
So how long was Bob dead?
The coroner said approximately 6 months.
Okay.
Bob has been dead.
So not like nowhere near as long as this place has been shut down.
No, the abandoned part of the hospital, from what I understand, has been shut down for decades. But the rest of the hospital is still functional and working.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So yeah, who is Bob? How did he end up with six gunshot wounds in his chest in this walled-off room in the abandoned section of a hospital?
Wait. I think I know who Bob is.
Who do you think Bob is?
His name is Robert Paulson.
No.
Damn it.
You are incorrect, sir.
So
All
it's
right,
not
so-
Meatloaf.
No. All right, so let's wrap it up. Here we are coming
right,
into
here we
the
are.
end. Okay, so I'm going to start giving you some of your answers
Okay, let's get it.
because we're cutting out the long, drawn-out police investigation that it took to get to this point.
Okay.
All right. So, Abigail got into the walled-off room because she fell through a soft spot in the floor and ended up in that room. With no way to get out due to the door to the room being partially blocked from the outside, she was trapped in there.
Okay.
So that's how she got in the room. She wasn't abducted. That's how she went missing. She fell through the floor above into the ceiling of that room.
And Dingleberry security guard couldn't find
Didn't
her.
notice that there was a giant hole in the floor out of which she was screaming, "Hey, help me, I'm down here."
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just this whole story, once you get to the end, you'll realize that it's just a whole lot of people that aren't good at their job
Gotcha.
because
Okay.
things could have been prevented. All right. So, but while Abigail was trapped in that room, at least in the first few days before she started going a little woohoo, she found classified files in the file cabinets that detailed experiments that happened in the Westview Psychiatric Hospital decades and decades ago
Okay.
that were similar to the MK Ultra experiments.
Oh, similar but not the same.
Not those, not tied
Okay.
to those, but similar.
Okay.
And for anyone that doesn't know what the MK Ultra experiments were, they were illegal experiments. Well, I guess they were illegal.
Well, basically,
That
the
the
government
government-
was testing to see if they could figure out a way to control people's minds through drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, so she found that, and then, so this is that ties into the next part here,
Okay.
which is that what they found out about Bob.
What about Bob?
Right. They found out that Bob was a private investigator that had been reported missing 6 months prior, and he had been hired by a relative of a former patient of Westview to investigate the suspected mistreatment of patients.
So I guess he found evidence of that.
Well, not only did Bob find evidence of that, because he found the evidence of the illegal experiments in that room, but he had also uncovered a much bigger conspiracy, which is
Wait,
what led
a
to his
bigger
death.
conspiracy than that?
Yes, which is what led to his death.
Okay.
So, this is the bigger conspiracy
Oh, here
that
we go.
was found.
It's time for Inception.
Yes, this is the actual crime part. Well, I mean, I guess murder is the crime part too. But this is the actual active
Okay.
crime part that is being alleged because, as far as I know, it still hasn't gone to trial yet.
Okay.
All right, so many of the former patients of Westview were from wealthy families. And upon release, those patients had been forced into conservatorship. I think I said that
Conservatorship?
right.
Yeah.
Okay, and we know what conservatorship is, right? It's what was forced
Yeah.
on Brittany, and it gives one party legal management of all the aspects of that person's life, including their
Yeah.
finances.
Yeah.
So they can't do anything, can't make any decisions, can't spend any money. Basically, it's somebody else telling them legally how to live their life.
Right.
So it turns out that what was going on, and it took them a bit to took the police a bit to uncover all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But it turns out that what was going on were families, wealthy families, were paying the hospital to poison relatives with these experimental cocktails of hallucinogenics in order to permanently damage their mental health. And then once they're released, they could be forced into conservatorship.
Oh.
And
That's
what was going on.
diabolical.
Now, how the files fit in that they found about the experimental hallucinogenic experiments that they were doing on patients decades ago was that the current director of the hospital now started work there as a doctor during this time and knew of these experiments, and then decided years later, modern day time, that she could use that drug cocktail to do this to these people and have these wealthy families pay her to do this because they wanted to have control of those certain members of their family. Like, say you've got somebody, like, say the brother has a sister who's going to inherit everything, and he wants to inherit everything. So he has her committed to this hospital or convinces
then
her, oh, hey, you need to go to this hospital for rehab.
and then
Doctor,
they force them to basically go nuts, and
exactly.
then they could be put under the control of.
And boom, brother gets the inheritance.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
brother pays the hospital to do this for him.
Huh.
So
All
that it
right.
all looks legal and on the up and up, but it's a way of moving money.
Okay. Huh.
So the current director of the hospital realized that Bob had figured all of this out, and his name wasn't Bob, but I guess they're not releasing his actual name
His name
for
was
privacy's
Robert
sake.
Paulson.
His, I'm assuming they're not releasing his actual name for privacy's sake or whatever, or I don't know, because like like I said, it hasn't gone to trial yet. So allegedly, the director of the hospital realized that Bob had found all this out and shot him and then hid him, in this room and walled it off, had it walled up so that she could just continue running this scam.
Oh, okay.
She was arrested and has been charged with murder, fraud, elder abuse, and attempted murder. And like I said, it hasn't gone to trial yet. And there's not any it didn't say anything about whether she was out on bond or anything. Like, it just says that this is what she's been charged with.
So this was something that was still happening when they found out about it.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yes.
All
So,
right.
Bone Dragon,
Yes.
it is now up to you to decide. Is this real or real?
Well, this sounds very familiar, and I remember being a rookie investigator myself once, and I was quite the watcher of some of these things, and I'm gonna have to say that this is fiction.
Yes, you are correct. And I even specifically left out the Ghost Files cameo
You showed
on
me that
purpose.
episode,
Just that one part.
but you still showed me the episode.
Well, boom.
Come on.
So this is episode 5 of season 7 of The Rookie,
Yeah.
which also features a guest appearance by Shay Madej and Ryan Bergara of the Ghost Files.
Yeah. No, because I remember, we watch Watcher pretty, regularly, and then they
Yes.
had that moment, and you were like, oh, you need to see this part. And,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What got me, what really pushed it for me was not the rest of the story, is when you were talking about when they found her.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, my friend Bob. And I was
Yeah,
like,
well, that's because that's the part you saw.
yeah. And I was like, I know that from somewhere. Where
Right.
do I know that from? Oh,
Well, I mean,
right.
it was kind of, I had to leave it in there. It was kind of integral to the
It's
story.
it's
but,
kind of a major part of the story, but yeah.
I don't watch The Rookie. I've only watched that one episode, and I specifically watched it because Ghost Files was on it.
Yeah.
And I do recommend at least that episode, season 7, episode 5. It was a really good episode, and I really enjoy the way that the story was told in that episode. It wasn't told as straightforward as I told it to you just now.
Yeah.
So yeah, somewhat of a spoilers for that episode, but still, go give it a watch. It's a really good episode. It
Okay.
really is. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, there we go, everybody. There's your story. Did you figure out that it was fiction? Did you already know? Or did you think, I'm going to have to research this crime?
Either way, I hope that everyone was at least invested and enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is episode 6 of the Real or Real podcast. Thank you all for listening so much. We really appreciate it. And once again, if you have a great story that you think you could stump us with, then...
Or a not so great story.
Or not so great story.
Just a story.
Just something that sounds totally ridiculous and,
Please come talk to us.
could be true, could not be true. Who's to say?
Please,
But-
we need friends. Please be my friend.
So, if you've got a story to tell, or if you just want to be on an episode, you think that you could figure this stuff out yourself, then
Yeah, also,
Yeah.
we would be willing to tell you a story.
yeah, we'll tell you a story.
One
We
of
got
us will
plenty
tell
of
you
them.
a story, and you and the other one, whoever's not telling the story, could figure it out. That could be fun as well.
That would be a fun discussion.
Yes.
All right, so if you would like to be a guest on the Real or Real podcast, then send us an email to crojan.designs@gmail.com. That's Crojan with a period, designs@gmail.com. Yeah. Thank you for the story, Pixie. I really appreciate that.
You're
That
welcome.
was fun.
You're welcome.
That was a lot of fun. I like that
And more
story.
importantly, fresh fruit helps prevent scurvy.
You do not have scurvy.
But perhaps I do.
On
Until next time, everybody.
On that note, until next time, everybody.
Keep it real.
Yes.